Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is What's New in Conference Tracker, unlocking new features for smarter event management. We are very excited to have everyone here today, and we're looking forward to introducing you to some of the new awesome features of Conference Tracker. So a little bit of housekeeping before we hand things over to our presenters. First of all, hi, I'm your host. I'm Rachel. I am a client success manager with Engineerica and moonlighting as a webinar host sometimes. We are very, very excited to have you here today. I'll be here to kind of MC and also facilitate the Q&A at the end of today's session. First of all, today's presenters, we're going to start off with Nick Armstrong. He is our Senior Technical Support Manager. Next is going to be Heba Nassereddeen, who is our software engineer, and Garfield McDonald is our software support representative. So we are going to have some great presentations from all three of them today. All right, today's agenda, we are going to be going over some really awesome topics today. We are going to be covering the new conference landing page, the user help desk, exhibitor booth selection, the conference tracker kiosk, session proposals and the schedule builder, the prospects email campaign, lots more. We're also going to talk about some stuff that's upcoming with conference tracker. So a lot of really great, exciting stuff to get through today. And I am going to waste no more time, and I am going to go ahead and hand things over to our first speaker, Garfield.
Thank you for the introduction, Rachel. So I'm Garfield McDonald, software support representative, and we'll be starting off with our first topic for today, which is the new landing page in Conference Tracker. So this landing page builder is a game-changing feature that puts the power of professional web design at your fingertips. You can now create stunning, customized landing pages that truly reflect your conference's branding and engage your audience from the very first click. This is available in the pre-conference package and also with the premium license. Next, we will look at the user help desk. With the introduction of the user help desk, this brings for a support ticketing system to the conference tracker where organizers can quickly solve issues for attendees. This help desk has a help desk counter, ticket states, you're able to manage your tickets, and this is easy to use for both organizers and attendees. Next, we'll look at our exhibitor booth selection. With the exhibitor booth selection, admins now have the ability to allow exhibitors to select a booth on the registration, and they can also edit the exhibitor booth registrations directly within the system. It's a great feature to have, and we're gonna take a look at all these wonderful features we just covered. I'll be presenting some live demonstrations of these features in motion here. First, I'm gonna start off by having the landing page right here, an admin view of Conference Tracker. This is how it would look when you sign in as an admin. To view the landing page, you would go to the pre-conference section here, and then you click the landing page. This is a good place to come after you've filled out all your information, such as your sessions, your maps, your attendees, presenters, stuff like that. This would be like the next step you'd want to come to take a look at the custom landing page here. As mentioned, this provides ease of access for all the information in your event all in one place here, so your attendees can get a good glimpse as to what to expect at your conference. We can go through just a bit of it here. As you can see, these are just some placeholders of what it would look like once you've filled in your information. So you have your logos would appear here. You have our countdown, you got a banner, you have the option of putting some information here. Your sessions would appear here, your schedule at a glance, your maps, sponsors, exhibitors, contacts, and so forth. The good thing with this is, as mentioned, it's customizable, so you can make it to your liking. You have some buttons up here, templates. If you click a template, you'd see you have the options to pick from a bunch of preset designs here. Currently, we're using the classic design, but if you want, you can, change to a different preset design to make the landing page to your liking. Also have this button where it says insert components. Gives you the list of options that you can add to your landing page here. Just go over the most common ones. You got the countdown timer, you got the schedule at a glance, you got your sponsors, your maps, your sessions, exhibitors, slideshow, and so forth. This just shows you all the options that you can add to this page, and you can customize it as as freely as the options they provide. Drafts here would show the options that you've saved in your drafts using this button here. Basically, it saves a snapshot of whatever you've any edits you've made so far, that you can come back and continue working on it without publishing it. This preview button here, if you click it, it shows you exactly how it would look for an attendee or someone who visits your landing page. So currently, this is all the information that we filled out ahead of time. So our logos, or conference date, the name of the conference, just a timer here as to when the conference will begin, the banner and sessions, and all these are dynamic, so you can click on them and they can present more information here. And as I said, it's just a great feature for your attendees to have. It really just improves the quality of life for an attendee visiting your landing page for the first time, and be able to see all this information about what to expect at the conference, who will be there, the sponsors, the floor plan. If they need a map, all the information can be provided all here in one place, which is, as I said, a great thing to improve the overall experience for your attendees and make it easier for you as a conference organizer as well. Next, we'll take a look at the next feature we mentioned, which is our help desk feature. Right now, I've split my screen in two. So I have on my left here, I have the view of an admin, and on my right here, I have the view of a attendee. I'll be demonstrating how the new help desk feature will work, with giving you a view from both sides of the coin, as it were. So as an admin, you sign in. The help desk feature would be located here on the list of options. You click it. In our example here, there's currently 2 tickets already here. As you can see, that it presents the day, the ticket number, who submitted the ticket, who it was created by. There's a subject option, and there is the state of the ticket. So currently we have one that's open and one that's closed. We have the options to sort based on, we have the option to filter rather based on the state, open, in progress, canceled, and so forth. You can search by ticket number, you can filter by date, you can sort by the date as well. And now we'll show like how an attendee would submit a ticket and how an admin would reply to that ticket. So in my attendee account here on the right, I'm gonna go ahead and create a ticket. So so this is my sample attendee here. Asking a question: is the venue wheelchair accessible? And you have the option here to add files as well. I won't be adding a file in this example, but you do have the option of adding a file. Just want to note that files have to be less than 10 megabytes in size, as indicated here. But so this is the subject. Here's a description of the ticket, and I hit submit on my attendee. If you noticed, the ticket immediately appears here on my admin side. There was also a pop-up showing that, hey, someone had submitted a ticket, and you're able to see all the information here, the date, the ticket number, who it was created by, the subject, and the state. And thing to point out here is that even if you weren't in the help desk section and a ticket came in and you signed in after, you have this indicator right here showing that there is one new ticket. So when you click on it, it shows you the ticket is there. So we're going to open up this ticket here, and you're able to see the message for the ticket, which says, is the venue wheelchair accessible? I'm going to reply on my admin account here and says yes, and I'm going to reply to the ticket. And on my attendee side, it shows that, the admin replied to the ticket, puts the name there, and I'll change this from open to in progress, confirm that, and it also updates the attendee that, the state of the ticket was changed. And you can see just how in real time the information is being updated both on each end, on the attendee end here on the right, and also on my admin side. It's just very fluid, and just a great feature to have. The benefit of this is it helps to have all the information in one place here. All your concerns that an attendee may have, they can reach out to you having it all in one place, and it just helps you to stay on top of things. And by having everything in one central location, it reduces the risk of having things overlooked. So I'm gonna just close out this example real quick by replying, saying thank you on my attendee end here, and as you can see, it updates here, and I'm going to go ahead and close this ticket out, and it on both sides the ticket is closed out, and it's as simple as that. And as I said, a great tool to communicate with your attendees, and also for your attendees to reach out to you as admins, making the attendee experience just much more a pleasant one by having a place to reach out to you, to contact you, being able to get those updates in real time whenever the ticket is being replied to, whether the state has been updated or there's any changes made to the ticket. Both the attendee and the admin gets notified. So a great feature to have, as I said, ensures that all questions and concerns are addressed promptly. It minimizes delays, and it just improves the attendee experience. The next feature we'll be looking at here, as mentioned, is the exhibitor booth reservation. So I'll be going back to my attendee view here, and to access that, I'll first go to exhibitors, and then I'll go to booth reservations. In this section, you're able to upload a copy or a soft copy of your exhibitor hall, and you're able to the map of your exhibitor hall, and you're able to plot as to where the booths are on that map, and attendees are now able to, upon registration, select a booth that they would like to reserve for the conference. In the interest of time, we've already gone ahead and uploaded a map and put a few booths here on it, but I can still show you how that would be done as well. So after you've uploaded your image, so you would choose your file, you would click the file, give it a name, give it a description if you desire, and you save it. Then it would look something like this. You now have the option of using any one of these desired shapes. So I could click on this shape here, and I click anywhere on the map that a booth would be, and then it gives it a number. You have the option of giving it a description, you can categorize it, and most importantly, you can put the price as to what this booth would cost right there. You can also, delete them if you no longer want them there. So we've had a few examples here. As you can see, booth 567, its cost, that's the price of it. This 123, that's the price of it. And as shown up here, it gives you what each color on this map means. It says the blue ones are reserved. So these blue ones we've seen have been already reserved by exhibitors in this example. This light yellow color would be put pending, and the grayed out ones are all ones that would be available. And you can go down here and also have a view of all the booths that have been created, the price, the category, description, and so forth. And as I said, you can always edit them, you can delete them, you can change the pricing, you can change the booth number, all of that. I'm going to show an example of how this would look for an exhibitor booking or making a reservation during their registration of this same exact map that we have here. So this is the admin view. I'm going to go over to this view of, this is now a page that has the registration form for an exhibitor. In the interest of time, I've filled out all the required fields. So the name, institution, email, so forth, all that I've filled out. So an exhibitor would fill out those in a real world example. So in this one, I'll be paying by check, and sorry, you're attending day one conference. I'm going to say yes. I click next. It's ask if I want to register a representative. I'm going to say no. I'll leave it at that and be able to skip to the next. Ask if I want to purchase the conference leads app. For this example, I'm just going to skip that one as well. And here we have the option to reserve the booth. So we're at the booth reservation. So this is where an exhibitor would eventually get to throughout their registration and be able to select the map. For example, we have two maps here, but this is the one that I had shown earlier, so I'm going to use this one. So as you can see in my exhibitor view here, I am able to click on all the booths that were set up, and I'm able to see the price for each. So I can see the booth number, I can see the price, and I also see that these are already reserved, so it doesn't allow me to select them as well. So that reduces a lot of confusion when it comes on to booth selection as to what booths are available, what booths are not. Also makes it easier for your exhibitor, as they know exactly where on the map they will be located, and this can help them to prepare their booths in a way where it be most effective, as they'll be able to see like, okay, I'm positioned at the corner here. I know, what would I want to have on my booth to pull the most people. I'm going to be up here, like what would be best, stuff like that. So it just simplifies the booth assignment process. Another benefit is that it provides exhibitors with a clear visual representation of available spaces, as you can see here, so they don't have to wonder like what space is open. It clearly shows the available spaces and the ones that are not, and it saves time and reduces confusion during the exhibitor planning phase. So they're able to plan effectively of how they want to set up their exhibitor booth. So once I've done that, I can select a booth here, and then I'll go next. And this is the payment section here, where the exhibitor will put their payment details and all that. But just a breakdown of the pricing is also available. So the registration fee was $1,000, and it shows the booth number and also the booth reservation here. So can I confirm that now? Yes. So okay, so we're going to select pay later with invoice, and just to close out this example here, it's going to enter this captcha, and just like that. An exhibitor has successfully registered, and if I go back here, I'm able to see now that this booth is pending because they haven't paid as yet. I haven't paid in the example, but it shows that there is a reservation on it, which shows so it's pending. So you as an admin, you can go in to accept or reject and so forth. But that's just an example of the new booth reservations. And so we've touched on those 3 topics so far: the landing page, the user help desk, and the booth reservations. 3 new amazing features in Conference Tracker, all designed to improve both the attendee experience and also to make the lives of conference organizers and attendees and admins rather much easier. I'll be now handing it over to Heba, who will be presenting on some other new topics that we have here, and she'll be doing this by way of a recording. So Heba.
Yeah, so thanks so much, Garfield. Hey, everybody. My name is Heba, and I'm a software developer here at Engineerica Systems. And today I'm excited to share some new features that we've added for administrators and operators. Specifically, we now have mobile kiosks available in the Conference Tracker app. And these kiosks can replace bulky sign-in stations with a nice, sleek iPad or any other Apple device that you guys might have on hand. And that makes it easy to manage conference check-ins and session attendance on the go. So to give you a better idea on how they work, I'll be showing a video demo from a previous conference. And Rachel, would you please play the video for us? We have some exciting new features that came out just this month. They were in development for almost a year, and now you'll be able to transform your device into a self-check-in station. You can either let it run on its own at the registration desk or at session doors, or you can team it up with your staff to get people checked in faster. The kiosk is going to let you know which session is coming up in the room at that time, and attendees are going to be able to sign themselves in, saving you the time and the effort. Alrighty. And just a quick overview of the new kiosks that were added. The first 3 pertain to the conference check-in, and these are going to be the self-check-in kiosk and the staff check-in kiosk and the walk-in registration kiosk. And the last 2 pertain to individual session sign-in and out. And these are going to be your QR station, session QR station, and session attendance kiosk. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how these work. Now, first up, we have the attendee self-check-in kiosk. You can set this one up at the registration desk, and these are great for folks who want to get their badge quickly and start networking. The kiosk is going to display a welcome message at the top, and it's also going to show your conference logo. And once the scan button is pressed, it's going to open up the front-facing camera, allowing attendees to scan their QR code. And let me show you how that will work. Now, once they've scanned themselves in, they'll have different options. They can choose whether or not they want to print a badge. And note, for that option to work, you're going to have to connect a Bluetooth badge printer to the app beforehand. And yeah, that is it for the attendee self-check-in kiosk. Moving on, we have the staff check-in kiosk. Now, these have elevated privileges, and staff can handle special requests like reprinting badges if needed, and they can also assign handouts. And let me show you guys how that works. Yeah, it's easy as that. And on to the next kiosk. This one is your walk-in registration kiosk. Maybe there's someone who's walking by in the lobby and decides they want to join the party at the last minute. These kiosks let people register and pay for the conference on the spot, and they'll be able to check in after that. And let you guys see how that works. Now, this is a registration form that that conference admins will configure through the web app. Attendees can also register for sessions on the spot, and they'll have to complete the CAPTCHA in order to proceed, just to make sure they're not a robot or anything like that. And yeah, that is it for the walk-in registration kiosk. Moving on to the session attendance kiosk, this one allows attendees to scan their badge to sign in or out. And here we go. Note that the first scan is going to be counted as a sign in, and the second one will be a sign out. So that is it for that one. And last but not least, we have our session QR station. Now this one is going to display a QR code unique to each room. Attendees need to have the attendee app for this to work. And what's great about this method is that it speeds up the process, especially for sessions that have a large amount of attendees. No need for anyone to wait in line when they can just scan and continue the sign-in process from their phones. Now, these are equipped to handle some traffic flow issues. If you have back-to-back sessions, no problem. The app is going to give attendees the option to choose which session they want to sign in and out of. And you can also set an early sign-in or late sign-out window, with the default being 15 minutes, meaning that attendees can sign in as early as 15 minutes before the event or as late as 15 minutes after the event. Otherwise, those swipes will not be counted as valid. And let me show you guys how that one would work. And there you have it. All right, and that's the end of the video. Thanks guys for listening, and I believe our next presenter today will be Nick.
My section, we're going to be talking about the presenter session proposals. So this was a big feature that folks were asking for. I know I had got a question in the chat regarding it, so we can talk about that after too, but I just want to show this off today. It's really cool. Basically what you can do is, if you have some folks that might be interested in signing up to do a session, be a speaker or presenter at your conference, you can go ahead and share a link with them so that basically they can fill out a registration form, submit all the details of the proposed session, and you guys can actually accept, reject, ask for like a revamp, or basically once you guys have accepted it, then you can start building out your schedule with those accepted sessions. So it's really, really cool. So we'll get a chance to take a look at that. Next, we're going to go over like the prospects email campaign. So this is where you can actually upload a list of all your prospects for the conference. This could be attendees, exhibitors, whoever may be interested. Maybe they're leads that you got from a web campaign or something like that. And we're basically going to be able to send them emails to kind of let them know, like, hey, we're doing an event again this year. If you're needing CEU credits or whatever the case may be, come out and join us, and you can kind of start getting that process started well before they become attendees. Some other honorable mentions we're not going to go over today, but I just want to kind of put those out there. These were big features that we added. So originally on your social wall for the conference attendee app, you could only really upload like one image at a time and maybe make comment or whatever, but now you can actually upload multiple pictures, so that's really cool. We also have a self-check-in email invitation. So basically, if you want to allow your attendees to do a self-check-in virtually, instead of having to come up to the booth and maybe like check in, like your registration booth that is, and like check in and say like, hey, I'm here, pick up my badge, that, they could actually do a check-in online virtually, and you'll still get the information that they're there. Maybe they're at their hotel doing it, wherever it's convenient, and they'll be able to print out their badge and get that. So that's pretty cool. We also have new financial data widgets on the homepage. So when you log in as like a conference organizer or admin, basically all the information about like how well your registration's going, all the money you've collected from, the different things that you've offered on your registration form, that's all going to be right there and available. So you can see how well your early registration's doing, and just get all that data. Now we still have that data available for reports and stuff like that, but we basically made it more visible so that you kind of can be in the know with how the conference is doing. The other thing is auto-generated leads invoices. So when the folks buy the leads app and everything, these invoices should automatically be sent out, so you don't have to do that. It's going to take one less thing off the organizer's plate. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at those two features that I was talking about at the beginning there. Let me just go ahead and pull that up. So here you have so under the sessions, we're going to go to session proposals. And in here you can actually see I've got a few that I've accepted already. But what you would do is start off by building out your proposal form. Now keep in mind, we kind of give you a kind of starter thing just to kind of get the basics. So of course we're going to need the first name, last name, and email of the person that's wanting to present. All this information is actually going to be transferred over when they become an accepted session, so that you can actually have those people listed as a presenter. So it's one less import or data entry point that you have to do. And they can also say what company they're with and like the name of the session, and provide like details about how that session is going to be ran. And you can include any other kind of questions that you may want to know, like have they ever done this presentation? Maybe you want to check it out to see if it would fit with your session. They could provide a link to it, and they could even upload files. So there's a file uploader you could add, rich text, so they could like do any kind of like a what you see is what you get editor to kind of put kind of like this, where you're designing it in the actual page itself. But they could even copy and paste in there as well. But basically you design that entire form, and this is going to give you everything that you need to know, not only about the speaker, but about the session that they would like to do. And up here at the top, I have a share option. And once I'm good to go, I can share that on my social. I could go and embed this on my website if I wanted to fill out the form on my website. Or I could just share this link simply. I've seen some people, turn that into a QR code. Maybe they put it on something. But anything you want to do as far as sharing that, so that the presenters that want to do sessions at your conference can kind of submit those to you. If we go back to the session proposals, there's also a share button here. So if you had missed it when you were editing the form, it's still right here. And that's just going to take me back to all those things. And then finally, once I've gotten some submissions in here, I can go ahead and reject them, accept them if this one wasn't already accepted, or I could ask for a revision or delete them. So there are some different options, and I can actually see those different statuses as well. So if we ask for revision, rejected, you can go in and see, what those are. And maybe there's one that you rejected that you want to maybe ask for a revision, so you can go back and revisit that. But once that's all said and done, we're going to go down to the schedule builder. Now, it automatically hides the sessions that I've already scheduled, but if let's say I hadn't already scheduled these, or maybe we're going to allow them to do multiple sessions on different days or different time slots, then I can go ahead and grab these sessions from the left and just drag them onto my calendar. Now there's a few different views. You have that week view, a day view. Sometimes the day view is nice because I can see each room. The week view, if I'm trying to look at it in a more overall sense, and I can do things like zoom out or hide the the conference information to get a bigger, broader view of that as well. And I even have a list view. So if I just want to see by day and what time and what rooms they're doing all that in, I kind of like the day view, so I'm going to go with that. So if I have a lot of rooms like I do here, I can go ahead and start pulling those over. And I'm going to go ahead and just schedule in a different room for maybe like 10 a.m. And I didn't get it exactly right, so I can always just change those times here. And the session was for an hour, so we'll say 11. You can change the mode for that session. It already pulls the name and, like I said, the information from off the accepted proposal, and we'll just save that. So what you'll notice, it's blue right now, and until I save these changes, it's just in there temporarily, so I can actually click and move it around. So like maybe, you know what, really we need to have it in this room, or if I was looking at the week view, maybe we need to have it on a different time or something like that. So whatever the case, I can go ahead and save those changes, and then when I'm all done with that, I can go ahead and notify the presenters of their time slots so that everybody knows exactly when they're going to be doing their sessions. So that's the proposals. Next, I want to visit the pre-conference section and go to our prospects. So in here, I've already uploaded a list, but what you would normally do is go ahead and upload a list. This could be prospects that are either potential exhibitors or vendors, or it could be like potential attendees. So what we'll do is go under Advanced Options, Import Data, and if you're not sure how that needs to look, pretty much we just need like their first name, middle initial, last name, and I believe email. And if you at least have that information, you go ahead and upload it. The email is what's unique about them, so they have to all have a unique email, but you can learn more at this link. What I wanted to show you, and the reason why I came here, is that there's two different prospects, so I can go ahead and upload those as attendee prospects or exhibitor prospects. So once I have that file, and let's say I'm going to go ahead and do attendees, upload file, and let's say I'm using like a list of folks that we already had from last conference. So mine failed, but basically it's probably because I had the wrong columns in there. But yeah, so it's going to basically need just very specific things. And if you do have like an attendee import, just make sure it matches that format. Because I think in the attendee import, you can actually do a little more. Because the prospects, they won't necessarily have like a card number or anything like that yet. So if you have that in your file, you'd have to remove that. So you really just want the basics of their name and email so you can get started with it. Once you have them all in here though, they should look like this. And I can actually look at either attendees or if I have exhibitors. Okay, I don't have any exhibitors. Or I can look at all here. And when I send the email notifications, I click here. Now, I've already created a few just to kind of get everybody started here. But you would just click create up here. You're going to add a name for what that is. And usually like I name it like campaign and like the email number maybe or something that I'm doing. I can choose the attendees or the exhibitors, whichever, or I could even send a generic one out to everyone. And I'll show you more details on the ones I've already done just to save some time, but basically it's just like filling out an email. And the cool thing is you can actually use some keywords that are already built into the software or from the data that you uploaded. So here, let me cancel out of this. I'm going to go to like my email number 1 right here. And here's an example of like a letter that I would be sending. So it says, hi, first name, and then introduces them to the conference title and subtitle. And all this is pulled from the dynamic content that we saw, like, when you're building like your landing page and stuff like that. The conference schedule, this is all the sessions that happen throughout the conference. So we're just kind of like giving them an idea. And then we're also providing them with our registration URL so that they can go ahead and do that. We also mentioned that there's like an early bird special if they do it now. So basically, maybe your first first email would be something like that. you can go ahead and you could copy these and bring it over to another one once you have that built out. And if you're not sure what these keywords are, you just click the button and you can literally copy these and paste them into that email. And I could also see a preview real quick, just to kind of give you a basic idea of what that would look like. And then I would set the schedule date. And once that's scheduled, or once I have the schedule date, I would just enable it and save the changes. And that's how you can see here. I have one ready to go out in a month. Another in 2 months, and so on. And I basically am just kind of redoing those, and I can go ahead and delete if I don't like them. But I could basically copy that email and just kind of start with a base and then change it as I need. And, like the first one's early bird, but maybe after that, I kind of let them know, like, okay, this is your last chance or something to do that or whatever. So, but yep, that's those features in a nutshell. I'm going to go ahead and send this back over to Rachel to go over some of our other features.
Well, thank you, Nick. All right, so we have some great upcoming features. So the first one is the new conference planner app, which I am really excited about because I got to help build that. That is going to be a separate app that is going to allow you to generate a list of conference planning tasks. It's completely free. You'll be able to tell it what types of events or types of activities your event will have, and it will generate a list based on that automatically. You can add your own tasks, you can change deadlines, things like that, but it's meant to make the planning of the event a little bit easier. We also are adding the ability to, we're supporting review committees in session proposals. We know that a lot of conferences that do accept proposals, those have to be approved by a committee, not just by one person. So committees will be able to support the ability for committee members to say yes or no to proposals as needed. We'll also have a membership management app, so a conference that is based in an organization that has members. That'll make your life a little bit easier there. And we are also building an AI agent for help and support to get help, hopefully make it easier for you to get quick answers to some of your questions. And of course, you'll still have access to our amazing support team as well. All right, so a lot of great things that have come recently, a lot of great things coming down the pipe. Thank you for joining us. We are going to go ahead and move on to the Q&A, and I see a lot of great questions already. So let me go ahead. I'm going to sort these. Yep, I'm going to sort these by oldest first, and of course my computer just gave me a little pop-up window that I didn't need here. So the first question, and I'm going to have Nick take this one, is when did we add? They just want to know when we added the session proposals in the schedule builder, because this was something that was needed. It's a pretty recent addition, like within the last year. Nick, do you want to take that?
Yeah, we added a bunch of new features. Like all of this came from our user feedback. So we're always looking to get that those ideas off the board and onto the software. So if you saw, I posted a link, I think a response to this question, that you can see the change log. And if not, it'll be part of the recording. We'll have a link to it as well. But yeah, the development team has been awesome, like just putting out feature after feature this whole last couple years. I would say it's been maybe every other month or so, a new kind of cool, innovative way to use the software. Not only that, Rachel, you were there. We had a conference for ourselves, and it was just we would see through the customer's eyes as well. So we kind of get that insider look and say oh, okay, yeah, this would really help the software. And I know session proposals was one of those big ones. So
yeah, It's awesome. Yeah, like full disclosure, I normally support the other Engineerica products more on the higher ed side, but I also helped organize the higher ed conference that we put on last year, and we used Conference Tracker for that. And it was a conference where we had proposals, we had keynote speakers, breakout sessions, and we were handling that all, like, I think in Google Docs. And we thought, gee, it would be a lot easier if we could just do this in CT, and we added that ability, and it's been super helpful, and it's only going to get easier. And I'm speaking of this as a user, so I am really excited about that. Our next question, and this one's going to go to Heba. Can you get a text or email as well to let you know when there's a pending ticket?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question from Thomas. And we do have the ability to send email notifications whenever a new ticket is received. We do that both on the administrator side and also on the attendee side to confirm that their ticket is received. And then we also have email notifications for when there's updates to the ticket, like if a new comment was added, or if there's been a change in status, maybe it was moved to open to in progress or in progress to closed. And yeah.
And it looks like this question was by Thomas, and he had a follow-up question to that. Can an admin post a task this way to CT? So I'm not sure what this way refers to exactly, but I think it's probably along about the same feature.
I'm guessing you guys can see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so under the general settings for Conference Tracker, we have this help desk section, and you'll have to enable the notify when new ticket is received option. And then under new ticket target emails, you can put a list that's comma separated for who you want to receive updates about the help desk. And here are just some examples of what the emails would look like. This is for when new ticket is received. We include the details like who submitted, and also a link to quickly access the ticket. This is what it would look like on the attendee side to confirm their submission. And then we also have, this is an example for when a new comment was added as well. And that is it.
All right, awesome. And let's see, our next question looks like this one's for Garfield. For the booth selection, does an admin need to assign the booth as taken or pending, or does the system do that automatically?
But yeah, upon registration, when an exhibitor is registering and they do select a booth, the system will reserve this booth in a pending state initially, waiting payment. However, once payment is made, then this booth is auto-assigned to that exhibitor. So it won't require manual intervention from the admin, as the system would just look out for that flow of payment. And once that payment has been confirmed, then it will move from a pending state to an assigned state. The admin, however, does have the option to manage these on their own if they so desire, but the system at first, takes care of all that.
And then the next question is, what if we don't have an option? What about if we have an option, for a double booth? We don't charge double, but there is a discount for a second adjoining booth. So they want to know if that logistically would be possible within CT. And looks like that is for Heba.
Oh.
Yeah, so currently we only support one booth registration per exhibitor. We do not have the capacity right now to have multiple reservations for the same exhibitor, but we'll take that into consideration for future development. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And the next question, this is for anyone who wants to grab it. Our conference, because it's about certificates, which I don't believe we covered today, our conference attendance certificates auto-generated after the conference and sent to attendees.
I was just going to say, yeah, no worries, because we both know, but the certificates, so you do have to create them and then assign like a default certificate for each kind of role in the system. So you would just say, okay, the attendees will get this certificate, and if you allow them to view the certificates through the web app, then they can download a copy of it, but otherwise it won't be available, like automatically. So there is a little bit that you do have to do just to get it set up. And I don't know, Heba, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, there is a follow-up question on that one. I think it was, can you change the data or is it auto-generated? So for data integrity purposes, you can't change their attendance data unless you manually change it in the system, like what time they signed in and out of a session. But you can change things like the templates and the design.
Right, and of course there is a way to correct sessions if like, you know, it was legitimate, like maybe a scanner went down. You know, we've done that for like conferences to help them, you know, clean up logs where there was a mistake or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question, this Nick, you can answer this, but I already know the answer. It's are they are they, and by they we mean people who submit session proposals, presenters, are they notified immediately when they're rejected? Or are they done in a predetermined time or bulk? That's immediate. They will get the notification as soon as their email lets it through. They'll get a nice little confirmation email that it was accepted or rejected. And let's see. Nick, if you could take this one. How are proposals downloaded or exported so you can use them for other things? So right now you were saying we do not have bulk exports for that, but we can print out individual proposals.
Yeah, so like if you go into the system and like select the proposal, you can pull it off that way, but yeah, it's just not like a bulk export where it would just like have all the fields in one export. So yeah, it would be a little more consuming, but I mean, you could download them as you're accepting them, you know, in the system.
Yeah. And the next question is, how do I make sure something shows up on my landing page?
So for that one, like you just need to make sure that that information is actually in the software. So a lot of times, like they'll be like, I'm missing the maps. Like I made sure, and here let me share that. So if something you designed on your landing page, for instance, this banner, for instance, and I never uploaded a banner, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I wanted to just show you, like, for instance, if you go to the setup, you'll see about halfway down you have a banner section. So if you actually go ahead and upload that, then it will show up on your landing page as it's intended. So that's why it's good to like check out these previews and make sure everything is showing up exactly the way you intended it. And you know, other things like your maps, if you don't have any maps, then it's not going to be there. Schedule at a glance. So all these have they come from these pre-conference sections that you're setting up. And then there's two other sections, like for instance sessions. Those will be populated as you build out your sessions. Exhibitors, the companies and who's going to be there. Those are all, you know, populated from the imports or registration as it happens. So.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Nick. And I also wanted to add, make sure to hit that publish button once you're done saving your work, because that's the only time or the only way to make it available publicly for your attendees. Otherwise, it's just going to be visible internally.
Yep. And you can save as many drafts and then publish when you're ready. So yeah, we have just a save as a draft, like one you might want to go back to. I've even seen some people use these as different versions of that at different times. Like maybe they want this displayed 30 days out and then have a draft for something that's like, you know, on site. And then that way they can publish it when they need to.
All right, and next question is, how can I access the conference landing page as an attendee?
Good question. Yeah, so we are on their landing page. This was like what I was talking about, where you see the thing here and you look in the preview and it's not there. I was just mentioning that all the stuff in the pre-conference, you know, is there. But then, you know, where do you get that link for the landing page? It's actually right under the setup at the top of this page. You just would copy that little bit in italics. And if you want to preview it, just open either like an incognito window or another browser and paste it in. That way you can kind of see exactly what you've designed. And like I said, all the sessions will be populated by that. Your schedule at a glance, maps, everything that you've included there.
All right, and then the next question, can I forward all of these help desk tickets to conference tracker support?
That's a good question too. So I mean, you could if it was an actual support thing that was related to the software. And that's the great thing about this is you're going to get notified pretty quickly. Like attendees will have a direct kind of communication there, and you could be made aware of an issue potentially and send that to support. But a lot of times we notice too that we'd get things from attendees that would just be very specific to the conference, like hey, is this session still going to be in the X room, and our guys wouldn't know anything about that. So this is a really cool internal tool for your conference.
All right, and next question is, can I assign someone to monitor the support tickets?
So it really is just like in that view. So we don't really have like a sign, but what's really cool is like what Heba was showing us in the settings, where you'd go and was it under I think it was general. Sorry, it just took me a second to get there, but I can notify when a new ticket. So yeah, technically through this, I would be able to go ahead and assign those people out. And if I have multiple people, let's say it was like myself and Garfield, I could go ahead and just put a comma after each email and then start the next one. And save that, and then we would both get notified.
All right, and next question, on the prospects email campaigns, can the scheduled dates be changed for the email campaigns?
Oh yeah, so as long as it hasn't transpired, like in other words, like the time hasn't passed. So if we go back to our what was it, pre-conference prospects, when you look at these email notifications, as long as it still hasn't happened, I could always push that up. So if I select and edit it, and maybe I want this to go out today, so I just go to like the 22nd, it'll be bolded there, and leave it enabled, save the changes so I can have it published today. But yeah, once it's passed, you can't make a change. You'd have to copy it and do another.
All right, and looks like this is the last question we have for right now. How many pictures can be uploaded to the social wall in a post?
Heba, you might want to answer that one. I think I believe it was 10, I believe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. So it's 10 files, and each file size is limited to 10 megabytes each.
So 10 and 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that should be enough. All right, I think that's looking like all the questions we have. I'll do a last call while we just kind of wrap up here. So for those of you still with us, I see a lot of folks still in here, which is great. We are going to be redirecting you to a survey when the session concludes, so we really appreciate you taking a minute to respond to that. It helps us make sure that this session was relevant for you so we can plan for future sessions, and also helps us determine what sort of features you want to see in the future with Conference Tracker. So very important if you are able to take the time to do that. We so appreciate your time today. I'm not seeing any more questions. So of course, if you do have any in the future, you can email contract@engineerica.com. The email's right there on the screen. And you can also, if you are new to Conference Tracker, you can schedule a demo with Chad. You can email chadb@engineerica.com. That's Chad with 2 Ds. And again, thank you everybody for your time today. We hope that this was helpful, and thank you for letting us share these new features with you. Hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.